Kyle Devich. I'm 20 years old, from Forest Lake, and I'm a sophomore at St. John Manny. And I'd just like to take a little bit of time to share about how the Lord has worked in my life. So for starters, I was raised Catholic, but in a lukewarm home. And there was a lot of heaviness in my childhood. So my mother has Lyme disease, and it'd come back every 4 years, worse and worse. And then in 2014, when I was in 8th grade, it got very bad. And my mother was bedridden for 2 years, and she had to retire early. So it was very hard for me. And then also my father has struggled with alcoholism, and he hasn't always been the best dad. We'll just put it at that. So very, very heavy in my childhood. By the time I got to 8th grade, I was looking for something to deal with that. And I didn't turn to the Lord. I turned to try and be popular, tried to be funny, tried to fit in, tried to get into the party scene. So I was smoking and partying and hanging out with the wrong crowd, but it never satisfied me. It always left me empty. It always left me more broken than before. And one night I was driving home in 10th grade, and I was made some poor choices that night. And I was under the influence and was driving home, and I was about a mile away from my house, and I fell asleep and actually totaled my car. But I was completely okay. So there were so many things that should have went wrong, but they didn't. And that, in 10th grade on May 2nd, that for me was a huge wake-up call. I saw the Lord's hand in that, and that changed my life. I started to search for the Lord. I didn't have my conversion there, but I was open to looking for the Lord. I was open to searching for Him. And that summer, in 2017, going into my junior year of high school, they had Extreme Faith Camp offered at my parish, and I served on prayer team, and I experienced that week at Extreme Faith Camp the love, the presence, and the mercy of the Father, and it completely changed my life. I got back to my parish, and my life just completely changed. I got involved in youth group. I started to pray the rosary every day. I started to try and make a holy hour every day. My life did a complete 180. And as one young, good Catholic man does, he asks the question, because if the ladies at the parish don't, he's going to do it himself. And I called it the priesthood. And I went on Vianney visits, and I went on the first one, and I felt like this is where I could be. This is home. This could be home for me. But there's also this girl, as it goes. And I went to confession one time, and with Father Ben Whitnable, beautiful priest, and he really guided me in that time. And I came out of that, and I knew, okay, this is my call. And I ended up breaking up with her. And then through the rest of my junior and senior year, it was just this up and down of go on a Vianney visit, and this is home for me. But then I'd go back, because girls, and then just dip down. And then another Vianney visit, but then girls again. So by the time I got to the end of my senior year in high school, I was debating what I was going to do. Am I going to go to seminary, go to University of Mary? But I ended up serving with Net Ministries. So I ended up committing to serve with Net Ministries, and it was a beautiful experience for me. But again, before the even teams got put together, there was another girl. And she got put on my team, and that was actually very, very difficult for me. I really struggled with emotional chastity. I really struggled with being a man with that. I really struggled to deal with that in an ordered way. It was very hard, very emotionally exhausting. And all I could do was pray. And I ended up, at the same time, I'm also wrestling with, am I still called to seminary? I'm dealing with these emotions, and I'm making it harder on myself because I'm not being emotionally chased. And I'm wrestling with the Lord gently calling me to seminary. And I prayed. I eventually prayed a novena and went to the chapel. And on the last day, I just experienced this freedom. I experienced this freedom in this relationship that allowed me to further pursue the call to seminary. So December break, I got home and I applied to seminary and I got accepted. And since coming to SJV my first year and coming back, I've just received so much from the Father through St. John Manny. The three things that people always mention, and that's what I'm going to mention now because it has to be said. Community. We have the open door policy where you can go into any man's room in the house and just spark up a conversation. And within the first couple weeks at seminary, you receive a fraternity group. So you have this group of 3 to 5 men where you're able to share and really open up with them. That has been beautiful for me, having that tight-knit community that helps me grow in my relationship with the Lord. Also, the support we have. the spiritual direction and formation has been foundational for me. I've grown so much as a young man because of the formators and the spiritual directors that are offered through St. John Vianney. And then lastly, which is the most important, is the prayer life and the Eucharistic focus that we have at St. John Vianney. We pray a holy hour every day, we have Mass every day, and the one thing that the formators and the brothers at SJV care about and that matter the most is you growing in your relationship with the Lord. And I can say that I have because of the love and support of my brothers and the faculty at St. John Vianney. And I don't know specifically about my Big V vocation yet. I'm only a sophomore. But I know that the Lord is going to work through the gift of St. John Vianney. He's going to work through the gift of St. John Vianney to help me further discern that call. So thank you.